Okay, let me go back here because I forgot to record. Let me go back. So is this all making sense? So question 1, box plot in 4 equal parts. They're saying which quarter has the most narrow spread? It's the second quarter. The spread is from 58 to 61. Subtract those. That's only a spread of 3. Now, next comes question C. What quarter has the largest spread of data? Yeah, it looks like the first is the widest, doesn't it? How wide is that first? Goes from 43 to 58. So the first is the widest, and that goes from 43 to 58. 43 to 58. So subtract those. 58 minus 43. Get a 15 spread. Find the interquartile range. I haven't told you about that, but I bet you can guess it. So remember what these are. Let me kind of get this stuff out of the way. This is Q1. This is the median here. And this is Q3. This is the minimum and the maximum. So interquartile range. So what does inter mean when it's in front of a word? I'll pretend I'm an English teacher here. Between. So that's the between quartile is what they're saying. Interquartile is between the quartiles. Here's the quartiles, 58 and 67. It's the width of the box. It's from Q1 to Q3. That's between the quartiles. So whenever they say IQR, interquartile range, it's going to be Q3 minus Q1. It's how far from Q1 to Q3. So you subtract them. What's Q3? 67. What's Q1? 58. 67 minus 58, which is 9? 9. So the width of the box is 9. The interquartile range is 9. From 58 to 67. That's 9. Which interval has the most data in it? Which interval has the most number of numbers in it? Well, how in the world can we even know that? We're not even seeing the original numbers. Am I losing you? Are you with me? Am I starting, as we get past 8:30, does my voice fade into the Charlie Brown teacher? The wah, 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 nothing's happening. You're tracking with me? Let me go back. Let me make sure this is making sense. They're asking me about how many data values are in the various sections.
Wouldn't it all be the same?
They're all the same. Now, they're going to give special intervals, and I'll look at that in a minute. But first off, just the basic 4 are all the same amount of values. I have no idea how many, right? It could be 10,000 seniors that took the SAT. Could be a class of 35 people that took a math test. And there's, 1/4 of, 30 wouldn't 40. Let's say 40 people. Then there's 10 people that got in that range, 10 in that range, 10 in that range, 10 in that range. If there's 40, if this is 40 data values broken into 4 pieces. It could be 10,000 data values broken into 4 pieces. Then there'd be, 2,500 in each one. I don't know, but I know they're the same amount of data values, right? Because that's what a box plot does. Breaks it into 4 equal sections. So, now what are they saying here? 57 to 61. Where's 57 to 61? In fact, I think I'm just going to rewrite the thing on this page. I got to have it in front of me. So where's it go from? 43 to 74. So from 43 to 74. And the box in the middle goes from 58 to 67. 58 to 67. And this is at 61. Okay, so there it is. So 57 to 61. Where's that? I don't know. I don't even see 57. That would be from here to there, right? That's a little more than a quarter, right? This is little more. Sorry, can you read my writing? That's a little more than a quarter, isn't it? Everybody see how I'm coming up with that? 57 is less than 58, right? The edge of the box here is 58. So 57 would be about right there. Up to 61. That's a little more than the second quarter. Okay, what's the next one? 75 to 200. How many data values are between 75 and 200? None. Are we all clear on that? How do we know that?
Because it's not 290.
Yeah, this is the max, right? That's the max. This is the min. This is the end of the first quarter, the median, end of the third quarter. This is the max. That's the highest data value. That's the highest anybody got on the test or whatever. So how many people got 75 to 200? Nobody. So there's no data values in that range, right? None. They're just making sure you really understand what that thing says. How many between 43 and 57? Where's that? 43 is here. 57 is right there. Is that more than 1 quarter or less than 1 quarter? That's less than the whole first quarter. Does everybody see that? It doesn't quite make it to the 58. That's less than 1/4. So it's not so far the top one's got the most. How about the bottom? 67 to 74. Where's that? 67 to 74. That's exactly 1/4, right? It's the last fourth. So which section has the most? That very first one. He has a little more than a whole quarter. See how we know that? Even though I don't know what this is measuring, maybe, like I said, maybe it's measuring how 40 students did on a math exam and there's 10 students in each quarter. I don't know, but I know this group that goes from 57 to 61 is more than 10 students. It's more than a whole quarter. So it's more than any of the other sections. It's not wider, so don't you got to keep straight what I'm saying. It's not visually wider, but I know it's more than a quarter section because these are quarter sections no matter how they look visually. We know that the box plot is quarter sections. Huh? So if this is more than a quarter section, then it has more data values than any of the other numbers. What value could represent the 52nd percentile? Which one of those numbers could even possibly represent the 52nd percentile? Could 52 represent the 52nd percentile? How do you know? Christina, how do you know right away? Yeah, where is 52? So all of this is getting to the point of whether you really understand what this box plot is saying. So let me help with this. So 52 would be about, about right there, right? Isn't that where 52 would be? Is that before halftime or after halftime? That's before the middle. Here's the middle, 61, right? That's before halftime. So if I'm before halftime, is 52% of the game over? Remember this? They're saying 52nd percentile. So you got to keep straight in your mind what percentile means and what the box plot means. Remember what percentile means? 57% left or below. That's what, remember, like if your baby weighs in at the 52nd percentile, that means 52% of babies are lighter. 48% are heavier. Right? That's where it is on the spectrum. Remember, that's what percentile means. So they're saying, could the number 52, like if somebody got a test score, if these are test scores, these would be miserable test scores, huh? A low of 43 and the high 74. That would be miserable test scores. Can I? All right. So these are miserable test scores. Some really hard class. So if these are test scores like this, 52 percentile means more than halfway through, right? It's got to be more than halfway through. If it's 52 percentile, right? 52% or below. All right, so that can't be right. How about the next one? Could it be 63? Where's 63? About right there. Is that past halfway? Yeah, just past halfway. That's got to be it, huh? Could it be 70? No, 70's past 3/4. 70's over here. There's more than 75% that are below that. That's past the 3. It's into the fourth quarter. See how that's working? You understand a percentile and box plot and how they fit? So it has to be the 63. Even though I don't know the data values, I know enough about box plot and percentile to know where that thing has to go. Does that make sense? All right. All right. Here we go. Number 2. Which of the following statements are true about the box plot shown here? The distribution is skewed right. Actually, no. This is skewed left. Skewed means like, which way do the lines go further? Skewed means kind of, pulled. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Pulled. So this one's skewed left. So no. So no, number 1 is not true. How about number 2? The interquartile range is about 8. Is that true? How do you know the interquartile range? What's the IQR again? Yeah, it's the box. It's from here to here. It's between the quartiles, right? This is Q1. This is the median right here. And this is Q3. It's how far between into the first quarter, into the third quarter. The middle. How far is that from 10 to 18? Yeah, it's about 8. That's a yes. How about number 3? The median's about 10. Is the median about 10? No, the median's right here. It's it's almost to 16. It's not 10. That one's no. So which one's true? 2 only. Good there? That makes sense? All right. So they're saying, all right, here's CPA salaries and actuary salaries. If a person is making the median salary for a CPA, his earning is equivalent to the blank salary for an actuary, and he is making less than blank percent of actuaries. What's that talking about? And what is an actuary? Does anybody know? Nobody knows what an actuary is? Actuary is a mathematician that sets the rates for insurance companies. It's actually a great field as far as, who determines how much they should charge for an insurance policy? Car insurance, house insurance, life insurance. It's all based on probabilities. The chance you're going to have a car accident or fire burn down your house or die, right? With life insurance. So they're setting prices based on tables. It's all mathematically calculated. Those are the people that decide how much to charge you for your insurance policies. It's actuaries. They sit around and they calculate these things all the time. Anyway, so CPA and actuary. So what are they saying about this? If a person is making a median salary for a CPA, now they'll change this up for each of you. They won't always say median. Sometimes they'll say third quartile or first quartile. So you got to get the main idea. Median salary for CPA. That's right here. Right? So first off, find where that is. That's right here, which is somewhere between 50 and 60. Maybe 53 or whatever. I'm just guessing. Just get a ballpark figure. So if somebody's making the average salary for a CPA, median, which looks like it's about $53,000, his earning is equivalent to the what for an actuary? So that 53 hits that line, that median line for the CPA hits at the Q1 mark. Yeah, for the actuary. Right? Q1 mark. First quartile mark for the actuary. And he is making less than, so this person's salary, this $53,000 salary that the average CPA is making, is less than what percent of the actuaries? So, look at the actuary. Pretend this is a football game or a basketball game. If I'm right here, what I am less than what percent? Isn't 25% of all the game here, and 25% here, and 25% here, and 25%? It's 4 quarters, right? It breaks it into 4 equal quarters. That's what the box plot always does. It quarters your data. There's 25% in the first section, 25 in the second, 25 in the third, 25 in the fourth. So if I'm right here at this dot, I'm right at the average CPA salary. I, right here, am below, I am less than what percent? I'm less than 75%. I'm making less than most actuaries make. Less than 75% of actuaries. The actuaries make the big bucks. They're all the vice presidents in the insurance companies, usually are actuaries. It's all math people, and they have really hard math tests to get into that field. I thought about it for a while, and I realized you have to go back to the East Coast and live in Boston or New York. And you have to work like 70 to 80 hours a week. And I thought, no, I'm not up for that. All right, we good there? Does that make sense? 4 here. When it asks for the 5-number summary, just put the data in L1. Right? Whenever they ask for the 5-number summary, just put the data in L1 on your calculator, hit stat, go over to calc, hit enter twice, you'll get the 5 numbers. That's all you got to do. So for number 4, number 5, same thing. Just put the data set in your calculator and crank it out. It'll give you the 5-number summary, which is the 5 numbers that make the box plot, huh? They're the same thing. Question 6. Based on the box plot above, identify the 5-number summary. So they're just saying, hey, can you look at the box plot and pick off the 5 numbers? That one's the min. This one's the Q1. This one's the median. This one's the Q3. This one's the max. Those are the 5 numbers they want in the blanks, right? 10, 11, 12, 13, and 16. Interquartile range. Q3 minus Q1. 2. We good there? I got that from 13 minus 11. Q3 minus Q1. Between the quartiles. We good? Am I going too fast? Is that all good? Yeah, I'm going too fast. I just want to finish it for you. I think we have one more question. But is that good? Does that make sense? I just crank the 5 numbers. Right, those min, Q1, median, Q3, max. And the interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. So number 8 basically gives us one last box plot, and it says, hey, tell us where these numbers are. So the number 44, what section is the number 44 in? So remember, this is first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So 44, it's about right there. It's in Q4, isn't it? Etc. Just identify the quarters in which those numbers lie. Lie. Is that good?